Hello, everyone, and welcome to the official episode 35 of the Crushing Through Life podcast. I believe last episode I said it was 35. This is episode 35.
The big 3-5.
Big 3-5. Last episode was 34. This is 35, so my mistake. Our intern has been fired. With your hosts, Rob and Jim. How's it going, Jim?
Not too bad. How are you?
Good, good. This is a show of two friends improving our lives through fitness, career, relationships, goals, and daily challenges. If you like what you hear, check us out on all of our links at linktree.com/crushingthroughlife and drop us a line. Today is October 13th, 2021. And as always, let's begin with today's quote. A person should set their goals as early as they can and devote all their energy and talent to getting there. With enough effort, they may achieve it. Or the person may find something that is even more rewarding. But in the end, no matter what the outcome, they will know they have been alive. And that quote comes from none other than Walt Disney. Walt Disney, an American entrepreneur, animator, writer, voice actor, and film producer, a pioneer of the American animation industry. He introduced several developments in the production of cartoons. As a film producer, he holds the record for the most Academy Awards earned by an individual, having won 22 Oscars from 59 nominations. He was presented with 2 Golden Globe Special Achievement Awards and an Emmy Award, among other honors. Several of his films were also included in the National Film Registry by the Library of Congress. Walt Disney. Good for him. Good for him.
Have you ever been to Disneyland?
I have. Yes. Actually.
I think you mentioned it in a previous episode.
Grade 6. My parents surprised me with a trip to Disneyland. Disneyland is the one in Florida, right? Orlando?
I'm not sure exactly where it is, but yeah, there's
Disneyland and Disney World, right?
Disney World, yeah. I'm not sure which one.
Okay.
Anyways, you went to Florida?
Yes, the Florida one.
That's the one I've been to. Yeah, I was 5, I think, 5 or 4 at the time.
Yeah, I had a great time, and I remember meeting Mickey Mouse as a child.
Oh, that's the highlight.
That's the highlight. Yeah, waited in line, and it was surreal. I think my mom's got the picture somewhere. Yeah. But besides Disneyland or Disney World, whichever one is in Florida, we also went to Universal Studios, and looking back, I think I mentioned on a previous episode too that we did a ride for the movie Alien.
That's right.
Did I mention that to you?
Yeah.
So I actually just watched Alien with Terry. I haven't watched Alien before. Okay.
Oh, okay.
So that's another movie that's like I haven't seen. Okay. We watched Alien 1 and 2. We haven't seen Alien 3 yet. But man, those movies are amazing. So now I understood like how scary that whole ride was, like back then as a kid, not knowing what the movie was about at all.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. A xenomorph is a terrifying creature.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen Prometheus or Covenant?
No, I haven't seen those yet. Is that part of the Alien series?
It's like Prometheus is kind of how the xenomorph came to be.
Okay.
It's like the first one, the prequel.
All right.
There's supposed to be a prequel trilogy. So he what's his name? Who created it? Ridley Scott, I think.
Ridley Scott directed the first one.
And then James Cameron did the second one.
And then James Cameron did the second one, yeah.
But yeah, so Covenant just came out. Well, not just came out, probably like 5 years ago now, maybe 4 years ago.
Okay.
And there's supposed to be a third one of the prequel series.
So we just crushed through all of Predator.
Right.
We haven't watched Alien versus Predator because we're now doing the Alien series, and then we're going to watch Alien versus Predator.
Oh, okay.
That's how we're watching it. But yeah, it's fun to watch these now. Later on in life, you can get to fully enjoy it.
I still love the Alien franchise.
Yeah, it's awesome.
And the original Predator. But like I almost always skip Aliens, like the third Aliens movie.
Oh,
I
really?
Just do, I do Aliens, and then I go right to Prometheus if I'm going to do it, and then do Covenant.
Oh wow. Okay. All right. So man, I had a bit of a gluttonous weekend. Let me tell you. Thanksgiving. I'm sure you had a great Thanksgiving after hearing that news that you shared last episode.
Mm-hmm.
But unfortunately, my son is sick again for the second time. I've sort of he's been sick more. He's been away at school more than like school started. Um, because this is the second time he got sick. He was sick for after like the 2 or 3 days after he started school, and he was away for like 7 days, and now he's sick again, and he's now been away for a long period of time. Like it's been like six days so far going on. Tomorrow he's staying home. He's just getting over all of his symptoms, but because he was sick, our principal emailed us and said, he's got to get a COVID test before coming into school on Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
So we had to get that done. It was his first experience. I ended up looking up a clinic that was specific for children. And we found one that was like, luckily it was just down the street from us, about 7-10 minutes. And it's all oriented to kids. So the nurse staff are very super friendly, lollipops and stickers,
Oh, that's awesome.
all that sort of stuff.
Make him feel a little more comfortable.
Make him feel a little more comfortable. I geared him up the whole way there, and the ride home was super quiet after getting that nose test done. Poor guy. It kind of sucks, but it is what it is. The school board is like, if he's got these symptoms, if he's got a fever over this number, you need to get that test done before he can return to school, right? So that's where we're at with all that right now.
Makes sense. I'm sure you'd want your kid the same way.
Well,
if it was somebody else to
exactly. Even if it was another kid in school or another parent, I would, we all want to do the same thing, whatever's best for not getting the school to shut down, and everyone's doing online learning. Which I think there was a school actually in our province that I heard on the news the other day. Like there was an outbreak and everyone's doing online learning right now. I think it was a high school. Yeah. So, but luckily it was negative. But he had to stay home during Thanksgiving. So we missed out all of our family plans that we had with my wife's side of the family and my side of the family. And you know what? It wasn't too bad. We made the best of it. It was actually nice because we got to spend the entire weekend at home, not only on a regular weekend, but like a long weekend. So we just kind of just relaxed. But we had a gluttonous weekend. And when I say
that's
gluttonous,
what Thanksgiving's for, though.
Oh man, when I say gluttonous, my wife was just kind of fed up with like him being sick again for a second time, and like, you know what, we're just gonna make a Thanksgiving dinner, and we're just gonna feast. And she made a great spread. She made me turkey. She's vegetarian, but she still made me like a nice turkey breast. It was amazing. It was so juicy, tender, perfect. The mashed potatoes, gravy, all that stuff, and we just set up a table. Like we had a fold out tablecloth. I had a camping chair I sat on. Nico and Terry had our two office chairs out, and we just, because we don't have a dining room set, and we just made it work, man. It was awesome. It was really nice. Had a brownie, had pumpkin pie.
Oh, that's great.
It was great. And then
what's your favorite for Thanksgiving? Your favorite dish, or like, part of the food?
So my favorite, like it would probably be dessert. Would be like pumpkin pie is amazing. A pumpkin pie is like, it's my favorite thing in the world. It's my favorite dessert. I love it so much. But if I would have to pick a specific dish, it actually would be my aunt's. My aunt makes a really, really nice, I don't know what it is. It's not mashed potato, but it's like a sweet potato mashed potato, but it's like caramelized, and it's got this candy type of coating on top, and it's like a crumble that's on top of it. It's really awesome. It's kind of like a dessert. I should ask her what that dish is. Actually, it's so good.
But either way, it's special. That's my favorite. Thanksgiving only.
Yeah, like special Thanksgiving only thing. I mean, obviously, besides the stuffing and the turkey and the gravy, it's amazing. Like that's she's the only one in our family that makes that, and I actually look forward to it every time.
Right. Yeah.
It's so good. So good. So we're gonna have to see family, and I guess another time. Right now, our son's just still getting over being sick, but the day after Thanksgiving, we were just like, even though we had leftovers in the fridge,
Mm.
we didn't want any of it because we ate so much of it, and we were so lazy to make food. We ordered pizza.
All right. So this is on Sunday now?
This is on Sunday now, and then Nico wanted pizza. Like he just said it, and we're just on the couch, like just dying, just like from taking care of him, and you know, obviously just being complete gluttonous, lazy people. We're just like, all right, just order the pizza, it's fine. So my October challenge is not going well.
Well, Thanksgiving was always going to get in the way, right? I guess it's like, you know, how you handle the rest. I was even thinking that when everyone made their Thanksgiving goals, like I just was thinking like, oh, those are some lofty goals for, you know, probably one of them. Like Thanksgiving is, you know, non-COVID involved, is my favorite holiday of the year, hands down, because I usually get to see all, you know, my mom's side, my dad's side, Jess's, you know, both sides of her family. Back when we were younger, you know, everyone would go home as well. So like, you know, early 20s, I'd get 4 good meals, but on the Saturday or the Friday night, like all of our high school friends would come back to, you know, to our hometown, and we'd all go out to the Philly. So I got to see like
the Philly being a local bar in town,
local bars that we used to frequent. But, you know, so like getting to see all my friends, you know, a good chunk of my family because it's so big. And then you get to eat really well for you Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and you're back home. It's, you know, that's just my favorite. It's my favorite time. Like, you know, we used to go up to our cottage. So, you know, the weather, like being up there was always great, and going for walks and stuff like that. So yeah, I don't know. It's my favorite.
Yeah.
So like either way, but you know what's coming. You know, like you know it's going to be a lot of food and a lot of leftovers, and you know you're going to eat well, and you probably have more desserts than the average time. You know, most of the week. So yeah, I wouldn't be too hard on yourself. But like that's the thing, is you just got to get back to it, right? Like if you want to. Because there's, you know, we're still not even halfway through the month, and then at the end of the month is Halloween. So you gotta.
How many times throughout the year can I say to myself, I can't be too hard on myself?
Yeah, at some point you gotta be hard on yourself.
What's the limit on that? But yeah, Halloween, of course, that's gonna be coming up, and I'm sure there's gonna be tons of candy in our vicinity. Yeah. But besides all that, you know, like my wife is doing such a great job, because she is going through some medical issues that are a bit personal, that is just adding to you know, the stress of keeping up with our son and the household. And she's doing such a great job taking care of everything she can, where, you know, I feel like I need to step up to the plate, and I am. Like she even mentioned to me the other day, where she is so happy that she's with someone who is such a good equal partner. And I'm not talking about just parenting, talking about just like taking care of the household, right? She does feel like it's never one-sided. If someone cooks, I clean. You know, or she can't cook, I will cook or figure dinner out. And I love taking care of the house in terms of cleaning and making sure it's tip top. Meanwhile, she's taking care of our kid, or she's cooking, whatever. Laundry's done both ways. You know, we share taking care of the bathroom. It's all kind of split as much as possible.
Well, that's
so
great,
that was really nice to hear. But yeah, you know, she's going through some no, I wouldn't say major, but you know, like medical issues that require some monitoring, and you know, that all adds to the stress. And I just think that this weekend it was like, you know, we just wanted to unwind and relax and just take it easy, right? So that's kind of where we're at. And then on top of that, you know, like I mentioned before about stress eating on one of our episodes, I have like one of the biggest projects ever coming up, like in my career or my tenure at my current job. I've been in my current job for like 11 years 10 or 11 years now. Actually, it's 11 years now. And I'm just stressing out about it so much. It's going to be such a huge challenge for me because there's so much going on, and I have 2 major projects going on where I'm upgrading and replacing an outdated phone system at one of our properties. That's like this phone system's from the late 80s. It's so old.
Cool.
And we've definitely got some borrowed time on this phone system.
Yeah.
And Bell's like, listen, there's no parts for this anymore. We can't keep fixing this system. You have to buy it. Got to buy a new system. So, we ended up purchasing one, and I am going to be the lead tech guy on our team to implement it with another person on our team. So that's something I'm looking forward to. I've never worked on a phone system brand new from scratch and configuring it before. So that's going to be something that's I'm looking forward to because it's something I can add to the resume, right?
Right.
Another IT skill I can kind of throw up on there. Nothing related to what I want to get into cybersecurity wise, but it's still really good to know that sort of stuff because, even though I'm not going to be working on the phone systems, someone else is, responsible for the phone system after it's implemented and installed. It's still good to know how it works because it's another system that could totally be compromised. In fact, this is actually a really good lead up to the story, which is something that's very funny that I found a security hole with. So anyways, we're working with this group of people, and they're configuring the database for this system that's being installed. And they gave me access to an FTP site to download files, right? It's just basically a server that hosts files I can download to implement into this new phone system. But when they did that, they gave me access that was a lot more privileged than what I should have had access to. And I was able to hop around and browse folders outside of my current company's folders. So I saw folders for other customers.
Right.
And folders that even included like copyright, torrented episodes of movies and all that. So, I show my bosses, I'm like, look how easy it is where data just can be like slipped, right? Or can be leaked. Mm-hmm. Someone else could have had access to the same account.
Yeah, what if it wasn't you?
Exactly. And saw our information, our database and all that. So sent a stern email.
Strongly worded letter
to the team. They apologized, removed my account altogether, and they overlooked their security and all that. But it was such a great example of not only can it be internal or external attacks in your IT network infrastructure, it could also be a third-party vendor that you're working with that you trust that is trying to sell you on a product that's not handling your data very well.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So,
crazy.
Yeah, IT security
leaks and leaks.
Oh man, dude. Cybersecurity is going to be so huge. I'm very happy and excited to start my path in my career. It gets like finding that was just like, oh, look what I found.
Yeah.
this is a problem. This is a potential problem, right? So, not to say that we have our own problems that we need to fix. It was a very obvious one that was very, very big. So, cybersecurity, IT security is so huge and exciting. It's going to be, there's such a huge demand for it. If there's anyone out there that wants to get into cybersecurity, it's a great time to do it because there's so many jobs that are not being filled right now.
Yeah,
because everyone wants to hire a team or a core group of people for it. Yeah.
So you said you're going to start it. This is happening. Yeah. It hasn't started yet. So that's right. Is that also happening in October during your challenge month?
Well, it's supposed to. I was actually supposed to be there at this property right now, but the equipment did not get ordered on time, and is being delivered like on sometime next week. Like a major portion of it is supposed to be delivered tomorrow. It's supposed to be there up to 13, 14, and 15, those 3 days, but it's not being delivered until like the middle of next week. So, and then of course the technician that I'm working with from Bell, he's on vacation next week, so it's got to be pushed to the 25th of October.
Okay, so you'll be almost done.
Yeah. Well, that's when we're starting. We're just waiting for all the pieces to be delivered. But yeah, in terms of the challenge,
I mean, you'll almost be done your challenge.
Yeah. It's not so much an October challenge. Let's just say it's a fall winter project that I will be focusing on bettering myself. I've turned it into that. I want to get back to where I was before last year in terms of my motivation and the get up and do it attitude, right?
Yeah, and it I mean, for me, the longer I go without doing a workout or doing my routine, the tougher it is to get back into it. So a weekend like we just had, yesterday is tough to start up again, or today all of a sudden it's late and I actually haven't done a workout yet today. So it's just, you just get kind of sloppy. But when I'm in the zone and I like all of a sudden I'm just doing it every day at the same time and I'm done and I feel good, and honestly motivated for the next one.
Right.
But the longer I go, the worse it is for
and sometimes you just have to routine. And sometimes you just have to do it in your worst days. Like, for example, I feel bad that my wife is going through this issue where I don't feel like working out because I need to like take care of Nico or take care of the house or clean or whatever, or not even just taking care of the household, just kind of relax with her and spend time with her or unwind with her or just focus on her. Where, maybe I should be at least like doing something early in the morning or just doing it right then and there, or maybe when she goes to bed, just like stuff happens all the time. You're going to have a shitty day. Sometimes you have to do it. Yeah. But then there's that balance where you just don't want to be too hard on yourself. And sometimes you just need to unwind. So it's hard, man. It's hard to decide what you want to do, but
it's tough.
The momentum is definitely key for sure.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot easier with the momentum. I think after the weekend, hopefully you guys were able to unwind together, and that can allow you, now that it's you're back to work, and hopefully you guys are back to work, and like Nico's if he's not sick and he can get back to school, that things can be more routine than a weekend of turkey and leftovers and pizza and naps and stuff like that.
Yeah, 100%. And another part of the stress, that she's going through too, is that she's starting a new business project where she's going to be selling this program for families that it's basically a relationship building, coach building, family dynamic thing where she actually goes to your house and monitors like how you guys interact with each other and helps coach you guys to a better working household. She could explain a lot better than I could right now, but that's kind of the gist of it. And she's been building this program for a few months now. And she actually has, I think, about 3 or 4 families that she's going to be working with to trial it. And if it's successful and she can get a rapport with them, then she can make a product that she can sell as a service in that regard, this program that she can sell.
That's really cool. It's a tough market, obviously, too, because, people have a tough time. It's becoming more acceptable to open up and allow somebody into your private life, understanding that you need help. And the fact that she has, that many families lined up is honestly great, because I thought, it's going to be tough to find people to start. Like, no one's going to just be like, hey, me first.
Right.
For the most part. So, that's obviously good for her, and good for her again for starting that project up.
Yeah, she wants a passion project that is really going to be a focus on a family, and she wants them to be successful. And I think that's what's going to really drive her. That's something that she wants. She wants to take something that's a challenge, something like that, and make it a really successful thing where, people are literally thanking her. Right. So, I think it'll work. We'll see what happens with a couple of these families that she's going to work out with, but like, that's still stress, right? That's still stress that she's added. Added on top of her, her son being sick and the medical issues that she's dealing with and all that. So it's hard, man. It's hard. And then of course I feel for her, of all the things that she's going through. So do what I can. So,
well, then sounds like you guys had a good weekend. Very needed.
Yeah. Very needed for sure. Although I did mention to you in our WhatsApp group that I lost, what was it? I lost 5 pounds since the beginning of September.
Yeah.
That was quickly negated after this weekend.
Well, but I mean, the thing is, if you
could be the alcohol though. Who knows? We'll measure next week.
You put it all, if you put it back on, it just means that this next little bit, you got to just work hard and buckle down. You can, work hard, play hard.
100%, man. 100%. So how was your Thanksgiving?
It was great. Being, like I said, it's my favorite holiday.
Yeah. And
kind of being robbed of it last year with COVID. It was special. It was definitely hard as the first one without my grandpa there, my dad's side. But we had 20 something people at my cousin's house in the back. So I guess they rented a big tent, and then we all were able to eat outside so that we could kind of be together in that small of a space.
Right.
And it's funny because that was the only meal I had outside, and that was the day it rained, and the rest of the weekend was just gorgeous and like 25. Now that was a little chilly and outside, but my cousin has a tap in the backyard, so he had a keg all lined up for me to go.
God,
and
amazing.
My dad bought a bottle of scotch and did a toast. So actually, Jess and I were. We told everybody there all together. So it was actually like a really special moment, something that I'll probably never forget, because it's not too often, I think, like I don't remember, an announcement like that where everyone was sort of all together for a baby, because the majority of the time you're just not in person. Like it's really tough to get all of us together, but it just so happened that, Jess was in the right stage, I guess, of pregnancy where we are telling somebody, but it's not too early. And the family was all together. So it was really, really cool. So, it was like everyone cheered. My dad said it was like someone scored a goal in overtime, and the whole family was like, arms up and happy for us. And so then he did a toast and, again, just had like an amazing meal, so much food. And then we actually drove and went to visit a friend. It was their son's second birthday. I think it was actually his second birthday on Monday. But anyways, they were celebrating it on Saturday in Newmarket, near your old house, actually.
Okay.
So anyway, stopped in there and we told them we were pregnant, and that was really cool as well. And then Sunday saw my mom's side of the family, and that family's more spread out. Like no one's crazy far away. On my dad's side, no one's like, besides two of my cousins that live out in BC. The majority of everyone's pretty close. But on my mom's side, everyone's so spread out. So like it was actually pretty small. But my grandpa was there, and my aunt and uncle, who I went to the zoo with, and they're my cousin. I'm 3 decades older than he was there, and it was nice because we did the same thing. We had the announcement, and everyone was happy for us. So, pretty cool. And then we did just Jess's extended family on a Zoom call. I guess kind of a similar situation to you with the kids being back to school. No one really wanted to kind of get everybody together, so we just did it through Zoom, and Jess held the sonogram up during the Zoom call, and so everyone was so happy for us there. And then we did little, like, just Jess's parents, her brother and wife, and then their 2 kids and us. Something small that was nice.
How was Jess's parents' reaction?
So they've known for 2 months or something.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Point. Yeah. So they were fine. And actually, Jess's brother, like that whole family, the only person left to tell was my 4-year-old nephew, because if he knows, then everybody knows.
Yeah.
And actually, I think he even said after we told him, like, I need to tell Nona, his great grandmother. I need to tell somebody. I need to tell somebody that Auntie Jay and Uncle Jimmy are going to have a baby. But yeah, pretty exciting. And, just overall, it was everything I wanted it to be pretty much. Like, saw family, ate well, it was, and got to, share the best news. So
that's
pretty cool.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, I remember sharing that news with our friends. And I was thinking about
I
it,
was
like,
there.
yeah, I was thinking about, like, we even shared proposed in front. Actually, just thinking about Thanksgiving is a great holiday for us because that's the moment I proposed to Terry, like in front of our friends.
So actually, sorry, go ahead.
And announcing that we were expecting. It was outside with her friends, so it's I just remember that feeling, right? Just sharing that big news, that big surprise with your friends, and it's a great special feeling. So I'm happy that you had that experience.
Well, so the one year that you proposed, I wasn't at that Thanksgiving meal because I don't think it worked out. But you guys hosted it a couple times at your place up in Barrie, and
that's right.
The first year that you did. So actually, when I asked you what your favorite dish was, I was going to say mine's probably just turkey with gravy, honestly, because it's something that we really only have 2-3 times a year.
Yeah.
But I love all the vegetables that my aunts always do. My mother-in-law makes this really good spinach, like creamed spinach, that she taught. Jess and I actually made that for my dad's side of the family. But what I was going to say is, like usually the mashed potatoes are like, they're whatever. They're good because you just pile on the gravy. But the best mashed potatoes maybe ever were ones that your wife made at your, it had that bacon in it. I still think about those mashed potatoes. And that's like, I don't know how many years ago that was. Probably 10 years ago.
Oh, man. That was like 2013, I would think. 2013, 2012.
Okay, so 8 or 9 years ago. But yeah, it's like I still think about those mashed potatoes. They were so good. Easily, the best ones that I've had. So, but yeah, that's, my favorite dishes. But anyways, to, wrap up about the weekend, it was amazing. And, like getting to tell, like my one cousin and his wife, every time that they see us, which is, because of COVID, we usually see them in the summer up at the cottage.
Right.
And, even this year, he kind of gave me a look like, are you guys pregnant? And I didn't really know what he was doing. And he gave me a hug. And I was like,
oh, God.
I don't know what this is for, but I'm into it. Like, I'll give you a hug.
Trying to fish it out of you.
And then I realized what it was. And I was like, oh, no, sorry. But so like this, he was so excited and his wife they were so excited. And, yeah, just it's such a cool thing. I don't know. It's
a different feeling sharing it with a group of people. It's definitely you get pumped up a lot more for sure.
Well, I remember having a great time when you guys told all our friends in your backyard, and like it was already a great day, and then it just like went to this other level of love and support and stuff. So it was it's such a unique thing.
Big party mode for sure.
Yeah.
So going back to our movie topic, you remember last episode we talked about the 10 movies that I guess we would personally recommend, or they stuck out to us in some sort of way.
So I actually, because you chose Walt Disney for the quote, I thought you were just going to come out blasting with the top 10 or top and then but we'll save it to the end.
No, this is just personal. These are just personal movies that I would pick as right, like a top 10. Like these movies have really stuck out to me.
Okay, let's see if we overlap then. You
just give me first? A few, I guess. Yeah, I'll go first.
All right.
The Matrix, number 1.
Not on my list.
Jurassic Park.
Not on my list.
What?
So again, like, to me, if I'm recommending somebody watch a movie, I don't know if I'd recommend Jurassic Park. The Matrix, I think, was like breakthrough for the technology, especially with the cameras and stuff. I looked at that one. I almost wrote it down, to be honest. But Jurassic Park is more of like a fave because I've just loved it for so long.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Like great choices so far.
Desperado.
Oh, okay.
Desperado. Wow. I remember.
I haven't seen it.
You've never seen Desperado?
No.
Oh, dude.
Coming from the guy who just watched E.T. last week for the first time.
Great action flick. Super fun, shoot 'em up type of movie. Quentin Tarantino style. He didn't direct it, but he wrote, I think he wrote the story. He had parts of the story.
Okay.
But Antonio Banderas is a badass. And he's got guns in his suitcase and his guitar suitcase. And that's all you need to know.
Okay.
Great film. I actually, talking about it makes me want to watch it again. I watched that movie so many times because it was like one of our first like DVDs that we had when we first got our DVD player. Pulp.
Actually, funny enough, my first ever DVD I owned was The Matrix.
Oh, that's hilarious. Pulp Fiction.
So you know what? I had that on. It's like my 11th. I had it on and I crossed it out.
Wow.
Yeah.
Fight Club.
I also thought about that one.
The Dark Knight.
Yeah.
Gladiator.
Gladiator I have. That's the first one.
The Good, the Bad, the Ugly.
Oh, I almost wrote that one too. Yeah.
That's like one of my favorite, like Clint Eastwood is classic. Snatch.
Yeah. And that's not.
And this one's a little bit of a personal one for me, but The Pursuit of Happiness with Will Smith and his son.
Oh, that one's a tough one to get through. Like, there's movies where
I can't get through it without crying.
Well, it's crazy that his son played his son. It was pretty cool.
Yeah.
They're both, the acting runs in the family. I mean, that's a pretty solid list. Like if someone's watching that list, then, like I said last week or like,
I wanted to get like an all around, all genres type of deal. I think I did a pretty good job. What about yours?
I like it. So in no order,
okay.
I have The Princess Bride.
Oh,
which
classic.
Is very one of my all-time faves. Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Okay, yeah.
I do have Jaws on here.
Jaws, okay.
Jaws. The Shawshank Redemption.
I had Shawshank, but I crossed it out to put Desperado because that one stuck out to me more. Classic movie.
Goodwill Hunting.
Goodwill, yep.
Gladiator, like you. The Usual Suspects I have because I feel like that kind of changed the crime genre. Like without The Usual Suspects, I don't know how good, movies like Snatch and Lock, Stock and The Gentleman
Kaiser
and all these ones
Soze.
Latimer
Kaiser Soze.
So it's that one was like the first that I can think of anyways. I'm sure there's ones that were, go up beyond that. But
love The Usual Suspects.
I almost did The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly because that one, it always used to be, I think around Christmas time, TBS, which is a channel on TV, they would do like 24 hours of Clint, and they would do all his old ones like Hang 'em High and The Outlaw Josie Wales, Good, Bad, and the Ugly. And I remember, watching tons of them with my dad, back in this. So like, it's special, I guess, for that reason. But then I have a sports one, Remember the Titans. I just love that movie. That movie can make me, I could watch it like 5 times a year. And then I put, so I had Pulp Fiction, I crossed it out.
Okay.
For The Lion King, I wanted to put some animation in there.
Yeah.
So like I was looking at animated ones, and then The Lion King, it's like Lion King or Toy Story, because Toy Story was kind of like the first Pixar one that sort of changed everything back then.
Right.
And then one that Jess and I love is Fantastic Mr. Fox, which is a Wes Anderson movie.
Yeah.
Which is like, I think it's hilarious. We quote this movie all the time.
What? I don't think I've watched that movie.
So how many of mine? The only one you haven't seen is Fantastic Mr. Fox? It's
Fantastic Mr. Fox. I haven't seen that movie.
And the only one of yours is Desperado for me.
Yeah. We got some homework to do.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if it's anything like E.T. by next August, maybe you'll have seen Fantastic Mr. Fox.
Maybe.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, like, and if any listeners are out there, you can drop us a comment and give us movies that we missed. If you disagree or if you agree. Yes,
please do. Let us know how you feel about this list. All right, I guess we'll wrap it up there. Guys, thank you so much for listening to our podcast. This
episode
has been
3-5.
This is the official episode 3-5. And if anyone wants to come work as an intern, let us know. Of Crushing Through Life podcast. If you enjoy our show and would like to follow us for more, check us out at linktree.com/crushing through life. Jim, have a great one. We'll see you next week.
See you next week.
Take care, buddy.